Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and Tim Hankewich from Orchestra Iowa is back as we prepare for another movie show.
I know. It seems like I should have a cot here. I'm here all the time, and congratulations on a great taste of jazz, by the way. I was there, had a great time.
Thanks. Yeah. We, I gotta tell you, Tennis Soul, they just kind of blow the roof off
man,
the place.
They're blisteringly awesome. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it was very fun. Thanks again for coming.
My pleasure.
It was nice to see you at our stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love coming to your stuff.
I too can clap on beats 2 and 4.
There you go. But it took, he had to unlearn a lot of stuff.
I did
before he
deprogramming.
Yeah.
Yes.
E.T.
Yeah.
Another movie play along.
Right. So I'm still surprised that a lot of people don't understand the concept. So those of you who haven't been to film with live music, they kind of look at me as though I have 2 heads or something like that. And really what it is we show the movie in its entirety. And the beautiful, emotional musical soundtrack is played in real time by Orchestra Iowa.
And let us make a note.
Yeah.
John Williams. Oh,
my God. I mean, there's nobody better at movie music, and he's such a master at symphonic writing. I know that my orchestra has been practicing furiously because it ain't easy.
You would think, oh, movie soundtrack. Not hardly any notes. It's just fine. But I was talking to an orchestra member who said it is just kicking her butt.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, John Williams, maybe other composers, it's easy. With John Williams, he gives everybody a taste to really stretch their instrument. I mean, he is a master of orchestration. It is as hard and as complex as anything by Mahler or Strauss. And so, the musicians really have to bone up. And what makes it even more difficult is I have to make sure it lines up with the film. And so I can't wait for the orchestra. I can't allow it to breathe as you would in a normal performance. I've got to hit my marks because you as the audience, if there is a significant dramatic moment, there's usually a significant musical moment that goes with it. So if I'm a second early or a second late, everyone will go, oh, nice try.
Something was wrong.
Something wasn't quite right.
Because you have a click track.
Yeah.
You going in your ear all the time.
So
to
more,
keep you on time.
Larger luxury orchestras like the New York Phil, they have the budget where everybody can be on a click track, and that kind of makes your life a little bit easier. In this case, I'm the only one who has a click track in my ear. Now, what the layperson needs to understand is tempo is not a universal thing. Even if you set a tempo, it's not a lock. Musicians are always micro-adjusting to each other, and that's true if it's 2 people, and it's true if it's 70. And so while I'm keeping a beat consistent with the click track, the orchestra is going to be skating or surfing on top, sometimes a little ahead, sometimes a little bit behind. And my job is to reconcile the two. And that is really hard to do. And on the screen, I'm looking at a unique screen. I see the film like everybody else in the audience, but I have a lot more information. It's like kind of like conductor cockpit. And while the click is going, in the corner of the screen, I'm seeing what measure I'm supposed to be on, what beat I'm supposed to be on. And if I get out every 2 or 3 measures where there's a new phrase or something, there's a white flash. Tells me where the downbeat should be. So I'll know out the corner of my eye if I'm ahead or behind, if I've gotten out. And then there's also these vertical colored lines, which are really interesting. So when a scene is ending, I see a red vertical line to tell me when to cut the orchestra off and the scene ends. And then there's a clock countdown to the next entrance. And once it counts down to 0, I see a vertical yellow line, which basically says, hey, Hankewich, you're about to play. And then there's a click off, let's say a 4-beat click off. And at that same time, I see a green vertical line go by my screen. So I know I'm starting exactly when I'm supposed to. And it's not even over yet because I've been involved in and have seen productions where the conductor screen goes down. And that is a very lonely feeling. And I have spent months writing notes in my score of dialogue cues and certain movie cuts, scene cuts, so I know if I'm close or not.
Just in
case. And, I had to use it when I did it a couple months ago in San Jose.
Man, this is something else, is that you just got done conducting this show.
Yes, I did. I did it with the San Jose Symphony, and, I got to tell you, the movie still holds up really well. It is still a pristinely perfect, beautiful movie that'll still make you cry. It is just so awesome. And I know that it is Steven Spielberg's favorite film that he made. And if anybody knows Spielberg's work as a producer. He has Amblin Productions,
Right, which has the little
the
moon,
logo
moon
is
on the bicycle logo.
exactly
Yeah.
right out of E.T. and Drew Barrymore is like cute as a button, painfully cute, and Henry Thomas is just spectacular as a kid actor. I mean, what I miss about movies today, especially sci-fi, it's all apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic dystopian sort of views of the future, and this is uplifting. You know, it's not to be afraid of the unknown, but it's actually a beautiful story.
Right. In its way, it's a small tale.
It's
It's a story about something that happened to some people.
right. Yeah.
That that changed their lives.
Exactly right.
But it was, and one could say, oh well, when the feds show up and watch the alien ship take off,
Right.
that probably caused a little consternation in the government.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah, but the world wasn't going to end. You
Right.
know, I mean, and it was really just a coming of age story, and it's a beautiful story. And man, I've seen this movie a lot in my preparations, and you can tell it's a good movie because I think I told you this with Casablanca when we did that years ago. No matter how many times I see the movie, I still get hooked. I still get engrossed in it. It never wears, and that just tells you how wonderfully crafted this film is.
and 2 performances. You don't always do 2.
Correct. 2 performances Friday night. Oh my goodness, that's tomorrow already. Friday night, 7:30 at the Paramount, and then Saturday night at 7:30 at the Paramount. And there'll be popcorn there. Make sure you bring your family, your friends. You got to see this because, yeah, you can stream it, but you're going to see it on the big screen the way it was intended.
Well, we should also note, and not everybody knows this, but the Paramount has a giant screen, and the size screen that, frankly, we don't get in most of our multiplexes.
It's the
today.
largest screen in town.
That's right.
Now.
And if you love Dolby Atmos sound, well, just imagine live sound.
Yeah. Can't get better fidelity than that. Really.
Yeah. You're thinking your 7.1 Dolby Atmos sound system is as good as it gets.
Yeah, try 70.1.
The other thing that, as I said, I was talking to one of the orchestra members, and I didn't really think about this, and she remarked, not only is the music hard, but it's constant. That somebody, and this is something, when you're watching a movie, even if the you're hearing the music, you aren't thinking about it probably,
right?
But somebody is playing almost every moment of this movie,
and you can't let up. I mean, after you've played a really difficult part, it's natural human nature to go, whew, that's done, and like turn off. You better be counting your measures, because one way that composers sync their music up with the film is that not everything is 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Sometimes they have to cheat a second, so it's sometimes at 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, 3/8. There's weird time signatures in there, and it's not just because they're being like rhythmically experimental. They're doing that to like shave moments off just to line up with the final cut of the movie. And what also gets me what is so amazing about John Williams, you have to understand, this is one of the great scores ever written. And in the film industry, the score is the last thing to go on in production.
Right. Because I think most of us have maybe seen that little scene where the orchestra is watching the final cut of the movie, and the conductor is doing the exact opposite of what you are doing.
Right, exactly. And
laying it down instead of listening to it.
And to think that John Williams had to write this in a matter of weeks. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And as a musician, sure, there are the great iconic themes that we all know and are going to love and just going to applaud when you see it and in context. To me, what makes him so impressive is the filler music, like the chase scene music, or when
the stuff that's not the main title.
Right, when the mother is reading a story to Drew Barrymore. Oh my God, what's going on in the background will break your heart. I mean, it really is, just goes to show you that music really gives you the emotional context of every scene.
It's E.T., Orchestra Iowa, playing along the every note, every single note of the soundtrack.
And you can phone home at the Paramount for tickets. How's that? Hey, see what I did there, huh?
Nice. Yeah. But really nice that we get 2 shots at
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because sometimes it's only one.
And so much work goes into it. I
Yeah.
mean, the musicians really have to put their best foot forward to make this happen. And so, yeah, you're right. It's a shame to have to just do it once, and we need to do it twice anyway. So,
Well, this is one that I've been looking forward to for a while.
You and me both.
But you did conduct it in San Jose.
Yeah.
What were your you mentioned that what the main thing you took away from it was that this movie really holds up, even though it's 40 years old.
Yeah.
It's 40 plus years old, people.
Yeah. The other things I took away with, I know how to rehearse it more efficiently. I really know where the hard stuff is. And for, background information is like, first thing I do with an orchestra is I beat them over the head with the hardest stuff while they're still fresh. And so as the rehearsals go on, it gets easier. And the other thing I learned is our orchestra is better. And I always say this: we really take this orchestra for granted, and we always think, oh, it must be better somewhere else. No, it is not. We do incredibly well when compared to our peers and orchestras twice our size.
Well, we always say we punch above our weight here.
We sure do. And it makes me smile. It makes me very proud.
Well, you have a chance to hear the orchestra perform with E.T. this Friday and Saturday at the Paramount Theater. And as Tim said, you're going to get a better show than they did in San Jose, California.
Absolutely.
And that's saying something, too.
I'll take
all right.
it. Yeah.
How do we get tickets?
Sure. Online at orchestraiowa.org or artsiowa.com.
Okay. Easy enough. Or you can also stop by the box office, give a call. The phone number's on the website as
Absolutely.
well.
Yep.
This is, I remember, okay. Tiny quick story.
Yeah.
I saw E.T. as one of those come for, and I don't even remember what the other movie was.
Oh,
but
wow,
it
a double feature?
Yeah, it was come for, it may have been something really like Conan the Barbarian with Schwarzenegger.
Awesome. That's
or
another
something like
conversation.
that.
Yeah.
But I went because, if you go this night, then you get a stay for this other movie.
Right. And it was E.T.
And it was E.T.
Oh, my God.
And
That was back when you had dark hair, I was cute and had hair.
Yeah, well, and probably in 6th grade, too. But I remember walking out of that theater and going, oh, I just saw something really,
remarkable,
really special.
Yeah.
And now another chance to do the same thing and hear it with live music.
Absolutely.
I gotta love it.
Yep.
So artsiowa.com for tickets. Tim, enjoy.
Will do.
Good luck with the click track and the red, yellow, and green bars.
Thank you very much.
And come back in a couple of weeks because Carmina Burana is right around the corner.
Yeah, which was the soundtrack to the best man movie ever, Excalibur. So we'll talk about that
Yes.
then.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, cheers.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30 or download the podcast at kcck.org/culture or your favorite podcast aggregator. You can see our smiling faces by watching the video on our Facebook or YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. I'm Dennis Green. I'll talk to you later.